No.
I'm just saying, is there so if you don't have like recent history of a good date, what is a good date for Rim?
I was just gonna ask.
What is a good date
like
for Rim? Yeah, like you
What is a
set the
good
terms.
Facts. Paint the
You're in
picture.
control.
Put it out there. Right
You're the
now.
only one
Put it
single
out
here.
there in the world.
Let me think.
They just asked Lotto this shit. She posted some shit about what her perfect date
Big
was.
Lotto?
So Big Lotto, Big Mama is what they call her.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't know
I'm
about
Big
that.
Mama.
Okay.
That's what she
Anyway.
call herself.
Hey, she can call herself all that. I ain't calling her.
Nah, you can't.
I'm good. I'm saying I'm not
You
calling
can't.
her. No.
Big Lotto to you.
Big Lotto. But go ahead, Rim. What you got?
Okay, wait. So is this like first date?
First date,
Yes.
like you met, y'all met
Yes.
at the bank
First date.
Okay.
somehow. You know what I'm saying? You left
give
your
me the
card.
background so I can.
You
think.
left your card. He ran
Wow,
outside.
this is a lot.
He ran outside. Hey, you
I'll
left your card at the
remember.
ATM.
I know.
I just wanted to give that to you. Also, notice this. Can I, maybe take you out sometime, get your number, we can talk, connect. He was like, you know what? I don't really do that. You can have my Instagram, and he made
Okay.
the move from the Instagram.
Okay, so he's
DM
giving
slid,
intentional. Like,
DM
okay.
slid, stayed
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Just checked in with you
gosh.
every morning for a while, and then you
'Cause-
finally said,
And now
"Hey,"
we're going on.
finally said, "Hey, let's just hang out somewhere casual." You set the place, and he asked you
Okay.
that, and then you tell him what
Oh,
you know what I mean.
okay.
You
I
fucked
don't
up
like
there
that
already.
Yeah,
You fucked
we're
up already.
Yeah.
I
Because when he
understand.
said
I'm
casual,
just
I was like-
Fucked up already.
I'm trying to get
That's
a
already
story.
new
He
for me,
showed
dog.
no initiative. He didn't plan the date. That's
Wow,
over.
wow.
It's over.
Okay,
It's
already?
over
Can we
already.
just-
Do
I
you
know.
want? Do
It's
you
over.
want me to have a setup or not? Like, what you mean to do?
Okay,
Like,
if
all
somebody
right.
It's
wants
over.
to plan a date, how
So-
do you envision that to look like? Is this
Okay.
like one-on-one? Is this an activity? Is this a...
Well, for first date, I feel like it has to be. It's giving activity.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be okay with the classic dinner and a movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can't
That's
for
go
cool.
wrong.
first date. Yeah.
Dinner where though?
Don't do that.
Not
See?
cheesecake.
Don't do that.
Don't
do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nah,
Don't do
you're
that.
not getting out here with just dinner and a movie. You
Dinner
gotta
and a
figure out what
movie.
that dinner look like. What we talking?
So
Harry
You
Savoy
gonna disagree
Grill?
already. I already know.
I already know.
Because I know her standards,
I'm out the
so
gate.
it's
I'm
over.
not
okay,
worried
because
about
I was about to say
It's over.
I ain't
we
worried
also
about
live in Delaware, so like that's kind of hard.
it.
But
It
like
ain't that hard.
There's a lot of
like,
spots.
if-
There's a lot of spots. out
It
here.
ain't that hard. It's good
Is
quality
it a lot
eats
of
out
Oath
there.
84.
Look, so
yeah.
that's what I was about to say. It's giving. It needs to be Oath 84. It needs to be Bardea or something like
Bardea,
that.
okay.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can even go Pizza by Elizabeth. That's a little
Ooh,
bit.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That type of
Classy
vibe.
pizza.
Classy pizza,
Absolutely.
like
And we,
right.
and we love pizza.
Exactly. Has
Remy
to be
loves pizza.
aesthetically
So-
pleasing. Okay,
Um,
but it can't be a generic Bahama
Listeners, if
Breeze.
you're
No.
not from
They
the
can't
area,
teach you
Check
Bahama
Factory.
Breeze because Bahama Breeze food is disgusting or something. Like, I don't know.
it's
Bahama
good.
Breeze is
We're
so
talking
good.
about first date.
I love Bahama
That's
Breeze.
what I'm
But
saying.
first date is a no.
But the food is good though.
Y'all triggering Waldo.
But the food is good though.
The food is good though, but I can go there with my girlfriend any day of the week.
Yeah.
But you not. You going with him.
No.
Y'all okay, go ahead. Let me-
You
let
got
me-
to give me
This is
I'm
something.
gonna let y'all out. This is what y'all
You
want.
gotta
This is your
give me
date.
some- right.
This is your date.
They bro.
Excuse
Go
me,
ahead,
so you
enjoy
gotta
yourself.
pick
Date.
somewhere that it's not just easy. Like you,
Like a regular place.
Yes.
Like
So you
that I
talking-
can
you
go
talking-
any
time.
day.
You talking drinks, appetizers,
I didn't
dessert,
say I wanted the appetizer.
Entree, boy.
entree.
Yeah, my
So two
entree, my
entrees,
boy.
two entrees, two drinks apiece.
Oh yes. Mhm.
Okay, so
That
now you're
sounds
looking at
lovely.
$125. Add the tip. Go ahead.
Keep-
Movie.
Movie
Keep
can
going.
get tricky because
Movie.
it's like
You
you're
going
sitting there
XD?
in
You going
silence.
XD? Or
Well,
you going?
and that's why
There's
I
no
say,
conversation
So
there.
that's
That's
why
why
I kind
I
of say
don't
I
bang
want
with
that
the
for a
movie on the
first
first
date
date.
Right.
because I'm just not a talker like that. So
Right.
already
This
I'm
is
like,
crazy.
Facts.
so it kind of
This
breaks
is
it up a
crazy.
little bit.
Yeah.
So then we can go to the dinner and have a little bit of a talking point there.
Yeah.
So you want
And
the,
then it
the
can
movie
segue
first,
into
then the
other
dinner
things.
after.
First.
Yes.
Movie first, dinner after.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
It gotta be
interesting.
that. Because a
Hey.
nigga like
Yeah.
me gonna fall asleep if it's the other way around. I
Right.
guarantee
Like,
it.
Right.
like me.
And then it's so
gonna
awkward.
be
Imagine
there.
if the dinner's
Nah.
awkward.
Right.
Then
And
you
then
go
you
to the
have
And
to
movie.
she gonna be
and
like,
you
oh,
gotta
it's over.
No,
It's
it's
over.
Yeah, no.
It's over.
No. But I say we go to the
So-
movie, then we go to dinner so we can talk
So
about the movie.
it's movie and then Bordea.
yeah.
Not too long of a movie too.
And
It's probably
then-
like a 90-minute
Yeah,
flick or
yeah.
something like
And
that.
then-
2 hours
No,
max.
And
yes,
then
2
what?
hours max.
It's like the night's over.
Yes, the night is over.
Is-
'cause
are
what else
you
are we
riding?
doing?
Are you riding with him in this?
Oh no, I'm meeting you at the movies
And
Yeah.
meeting him at Bordea?
because I gotta be able
Yeah.
to leave. Christine
Yes.
called me because he a weirdo. I
Yeah.
got to go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the new thing.
So you don't.
Absolutely.
So
You
you're
can't
doing
even-
your
This
own
person-
thing.
You can't even
You're
pick them
gonna
up
get-
no
And
more.
I'm guessing you're not splitting the bill, right? I'm just asking for
So
clarity.
Going Dutch?
First date, right?
like low key, it's giving. I will offer to go Dutch.
You will offer, but if he
Wow.
takes that offer,
But
you're
if-
done with him, right?
I'm
No,
shocked.
no.
Oh, okay.
Because this is new. Like, I'm just getting to know you.
Oh, okay.
So I'm perfectly fine with going Dutch.
Oh, that's nice.
But like, you get a gold star if
Do
you
he
say
gotta
like,
tell
nah,
you? Do he
nah, I
gotta
got
tell
it.
you that beforehand or not? What if he's
Ooh.
springing on
Wait
you?
for
Well,
the
the
That's
way the
question.
men be moving these days, I kind of have to expect that I'm gonna go Dutch. so.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I bet.
So we're waiting for the bill to come, and then we're
We're waiting.
deciding.
I accept that.
But does it have a
Yeah,
deleterious
probably.
effect if he does choose to take you up on a Dutch offer? Like, does that lower his possibility? Like from
100%.
that point
No,
on, he has to
because-
100%.
shoot
This
shoot
is your
from
date.
three.
Let me stop.
So for me,
40%, he
I'm
has to-
already going into it thinking like, well, I'm probably gonna play, go Dutch with him.
Mhm.
So if that comes up and that's what it is, and I'm be like, I had nothing to be disappointed about because I
Mm.
kind of expected that already.
But
Right.
didn't you
Mhm.
expect the unexpected? Like you would want
But that's
him
why I say
to-
you get a gold star is
Yeah,
you
yeah, that's
say,
fair.
But
nah,
what do you
I
get
got
if
it.
you, what if you get
It
if you
doesn't
don't?
lower his chances.
But
But it
he
doesn't
don't get a
like,
gold star though. He
he's
gets
just
a
here.
what? A
No,
silver
he's-
star? What is
No,
that?
it's just
where
like,
he's
all right,
at.
it's just where you're at.
Yeah.
So you have to still kind of work your way up to getting
Using
that
the
gold star.
the gold star analogy, you get an S, like a satisfactory.
You're not going to be
Yeah.
first choice on the next date. Like if somebody
You're
else
not gonna
comes
be
along,
first
Right.
choice.
yeah, if somebody else comes along,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Oh
give them,
my
give them a
goodness!
shot.
So
Yes.
it's a demerit.
Yeah,
It's
because
not a
I'm
demerit.
paying for all these dinners.
You're just even keel right now.
Wait, but you want him to pay for the dinner?
yes.
How is it fair for
It's-
him to have to pay
Life's
for the
not
dinner?
fair.
Okay.
Thank
so,
you.
So,
Yeah,
so,
okay.
so
It's
if it's
just
not
not
fair,
fair.
how about you
Doggy
dig in
dog
that,
world out
dig
here,
in that
man.
pocket and pay up?
Shit
Because
ain't
life
fair.
ain't fair. Go ahead, sweetheart. Pull
Do
out
you
that
want
checkbook.
me? Then you're buying the dinner.
Do you want me?
So this is
That's
real.
why
I'm
you
gonna
get a
sip
gold
my
star.
drink and sit
it's
back
showing
and-
more of
And
like,
thank God for the
want
wife
me?
that I have. A lovely wife I have.
Do you want me?
look,
Then you're paying.
That's
I'm pretty
crazy.
sure if he asks me out, he's buying the dinner. That's the way I see it.
Oh, okay. So the initiator
Yeah.
is.
I mean, that
so
would be optimal.
if that's the case. But and my question is,
We did
how many
establish
times?
that pretty
How many
early.
times
I
have
would-
y'all in
I
your
would say that.
history? Just on show the fingers. How many times have y'all asked men on dates? I'll wait.
That's not chivalrous of a woman. to-
Exactly. So y'all basically saying men have to pay without.
Yes.
That's that coded
I'm
language.
so
You
glad
gotta
you're
hear.
catching on
You gotta
so
hear what
quickly
women
here,
say.
Waldo.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm so glad.
All y'all gotta
In
do is
between the
listen.
lines, what they're
Exactly.
saying truly is y'all better
This
pay.
is not rocket science.
This is why I'm
Literally.
muting up. 'cause-
Y'all better pay, right? And I'm like sitting here like, wait a minute.
I mean,
While
it's
she's
not
speaking,
us. Society's
As
the
if
one
y'all
that did it
would
like
ask
this.
a guy out. Like I ain't gonna ask no guy out. Stop.
Some
I
people
would
will.
never.
It's
Some
just not
people-
me.
I mean,
It
it
just
depends though.
depends.
It
If you're
depends
asking
though.
these two
I ain't. I'm gonna
females,
shoot him some. I'm gonna shoot. At least I'll shoot her some bail, just because like after a certain time, it's been times that she's like, "Yo, we should go do some like whatever activity." I'm
Oh,
like, I
sure.
bet. But once you,
You're talking about in the. I'm assuming he's talking about like in the
Yeah,
beginning.
nah,
The
nah,
beginning,
for sure.
the beginning,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The
In the
barrier of
beginning
entry
stage, nah,
is
nah.
pay up.
Nah,
Yeah,
that-
very
up.
entry.
I was on Love Bomb watch. I would say like
Love bomb watch. I don't know what that is.
For sure.
early on.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, explain.
Explain.
Explain
Go
for the
ahead.
people.
Help me out.
What context?
Love
Love
bomb
ahead.
watch. What is that? I don't know what that
Love
means.
bomb.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna eat my fries while y'all talking.
Go ahead.
Everybody knows what love bombing is.
I know love bombing
right?
is.
Eat
Yeah.
up, boy.
They,
Eat up, my
Yeah.
boy. It's
they
good.
put you
It's
on
good
a
content.
pedestal. I'm talking about like in the courting phase,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Do
Circa
everything-
2023.
Everything for you, just all the gestures, the
Mm.
flowers, the
Mhm.
I don't know what
the
that's like. 'Cause I ain't get that.
the gifts, the flowers, the gestures, the dates, the all of that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's like, is this actually this
Is
person?
this genuine or is this a
Wow.
manipulation
Or they just-
tactic?
Is it a manipulation tactic? Yes,
manipulation
because they want you.
Yeah.
So they're gonna put their best
Yeah.
self
It's
forward.
thing.
Because is
And-
this going to continue
Or is
in
this
the
gonna be-
relationship if we get there?
Or is this authentic? Like this is gonna be the person I'm gonna have
Forever.
Is this sustainable?
Yes.
Is this sustainable?
Yes.
I'm looking for sustainability.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a beautiful word.
So, you know,
Yeah.
That's crazy
What's
Yeah.
crazy?
because
it's real though.
because there is an innate distrust to the positive, like
Well, whose fault is
gifting,
that?
supporting nature.
It's all gonna fall back on
Whose
men.
fault is that?
Whose fault is-
It's all gonna fall back on men.
What is that based out of?
Prior experiences.
Yeah.
Based off of the decisions that y'all made, right?
Sure.
Because because if you said the barrier of entry is do these things, you're setting
do
it
this
up.
thing.
What you mean? Like
Just the first time.
oh, so the second time you paying?
No, No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you're saying.
But
So
there's just, it's unrealistic for, I don't know, someone to think that they're going to be going on a date every week and they're going to be getting flowers every month. That they're going to
You
be
have
like,
to still be realistic in a sense.
Facts.
yo, that's crazy to me.
Like,
Because
that
please
sounds-
take some of this heat off
that
me. 'Cause
sounds-
I know why she talking. You niggas watching
just
the
sounds
pod
very
like this nigga over
expensive.
here. It's a simp.
But I just because I'm hearing you, but I'm not understanding.
Mhm.
So you do want this thing for this guy to do, but then there's also a layer of it, like don't do it too much because
Yeah.
now you're now you're a
Yes.
stalker.
Yeah.
Now
No,
you're
don't do
love
it
bombing
too
watch.
much. Yeah, don't do it too much because then it's like,
Is this really
like,
genuine?
Yeah,
Like,
is
this
this
is
really
getting
genuine?
weird now.
There's a
But
fine line. You
but
have to be able to know, like,
I guarantee you, if the barrier of entry wasn't there, he wouldn't do any of it.
That
I'm not saying for him in general, but I'm saying any guy.
Nah, I know what
if
you're
you
saying.
breaking it down,
I know
if
what
you're breaking
you're
it down,
saying.
you're saying as men, we don't have to pay for the dates, and we can just connect genuinely without any extra money spent or anything like that. We can just go to a park, we can talk, we can walk our dogs, we can just do stuff that's just Uno,
Right.
chess, like just
Yeah,
chill.
Thumb Wars.
Thumb Wars,
Thumb Wars.
right?
Yeah.
Remember that
I
from the
love
dating
that.
episode?
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
That's stuff that doesn't require, like when you were a kid, you would go to a playground, y'all would play, have fun, y'all would make friendships, and then from friendships you would make relationships. And
I
from
wouldn't talk
relationships,
to people as
Yeah.
okay, I'm getting real literal.
stranger danger, bro.
I'm getting real literal here.
Stranger
Literally.
danger. I don't know you.
I don't know. I used to make
Where
friends
my people
when I went
at?
outside. We used to go outside.
I've
in
never
the
seen you
neighborhood,
on the
yeah,
I'm
slide.
old.
kids,
I'm
like,
old. I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is
You don't even be by these
wasn't.
swings.
You didn't need to go to Bordea
Fuck you.
or Harry Savoy or
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, Wilma's and you know all these places just to get the access. Because now it's like I can't even talk to you until I do that.
I think the standards just have changed, or your standards changed
Yeah.
My saying the
from-
same. So-
from prior experiences.
Yeah.
And then you just know your value and your worth. And
Yeah.
like,
Oh, there it goes. That's
you
the one
know.
right there. The value
Mhm.
and worth.
yeah.
What is that
And
determined by? Who sets the metric on that?
Yourself.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
well, it should be yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boy, you just walk.
Listen.
Turn around.
Listen.
Just turn around right
Hey,
now.
thank you so
Turn
much for
around
listening
right
to
now.
the EFS podcast.
Turn around right
Please
now.
like,
bro.
comment, subscribe if you really enjoy the content we were delivering
You are
today.
not anywhere.
This is-
Woman's
I
worth
think-
conversations. Back off.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying.
Back
I'm just
off.
asking questions. That's
I'm
all I'm
telling
here.
you.
I'm here to hear.
And I
listen.
think that you know, if a guy wants to ask you out and you go out on a date, it's then you make that determination, is this person like worth
Worth
spending
going
more
up.
time
Yeah.
with?
Spending-
Yeah.
See, I'm just, go ahead.
But
you,
the
Dwight,
shit-
you tell me your thoughts, man. Because I know this is different.
The way I feel, and I've been listening a lot, so I'm gonna just paint it
Okay.
from a bunch of. I'm gonna go to canvas. This is my
Yeah.
canvas now,
Yeah.
my audio
Wow.
canvas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number one, as a man, I do understand like what it is to be, relate, and like identify specifically as a masculine heterosexual man
Hey, there you
in
go.
this society and all that shit. And I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of you weirdo motherfuckers out there.
Yo.
And it's not necessarily caping for women, but it's also like men checking men. Like I've
Okay.
seen story. I got cousins, I got sisters, I got freaking like, so a lot of the shit I hear that niggas do sometimes, to me it's just like, bro, where are your morals? Where's your standard? Like who raised you? Who's your
Yes.
OG? Who was
Right.
your uncles? Who's your
Yes.
dad? Like who was guiding you
Mhm.
when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex?
Right.
Mhm.
Then.
Mhm.
So I've always come from a perspective of like you should have a certain level of respect for whatever woman you are trying to court, date,
Mhm.
even if it come down to like this is just we fucking and like we got a connection in that way. Like there's a basic level of respect that you got to operate with that a lot of niggas go outside the lines with, you know.
Mhm.
And you see the stories come out on some celebrity shit, but I've seen like people in my own like close circle deal with shit, and I'm just like, who is this nigga? Like, and should I want to put hands on them as someone who's protecting someone who's close to them, my sisters, cousins, like I said, family members and stuff like that. You know, I try not to get into that shit like that. Like, ask my sister Jasmine. She knows, like, me and her have had a great relationship for a long time, and I've seen multiple people that she's dealt with. I've fallen out with niggas who was my friends after the way they dealt with my sister.
Mm.
Mhm.
Because my main thing that I always tell people is that you don't really know a lot about, like, the niggas you deal with, the niggas in your circle, until you hear about how they are with women.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I've had homies, not to name nobody names, a name drop like that. I've had people who was close friends of mine. I found out they are like abusive, like pulling knives on women and shit like that. Like yoking them up in the middle of the street and shit like that. Like, you know, that kind of shit. So, and
very
I'm of the
cowardly.
mindset that, you
Yeah.
know, don't provoke each other. Like, men don't do that shit. Women don't do that shit either, because shit can go one way or another. But I'm also not going to put myself in that position as a man.
Yeah,
So
A
there's
guy
a
in
lot of
relationship
weirdo niggas like that.
exposes a whole other side of that
Exactly.
person.
Yeah.
So you
than
don't
being
find
a
out.
friend.
Yeah.
So you don't find out a lot about guys until like how they deal with women. So it's a lot of weirdo shit that go on. I was just watching somebody's story the other day. Girl that I follow for a long time. We just cool, like whatever. She live in Cali now, and she met a dude in the bar one time, and she like posted a text thread of her and the dude. One time she met the dude, and he was just sending her paragraphs
Oh
of
my
messages and
God.
messages. I ain't gonna dive into all the shit, but
course not,
basically
yeah,
saying
yeah.
like, yeah, like if you're not interested in me, like you could have said that from the
You
jump,
see- you
like
see
that
how
type
they
of
do?
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
hey, we looking
I
at me like I did something.
understand-
Hold on here.
Wrong. I'm just saying. You see how they do?
I do nothing.
One
Hey.
time she met this man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Right.
why are we getting essays?
So
Why-
I do
why am getting
understand-
dissertation?
There's a layer there.
Right. So
Just
I
layer
do
that.
understand that there's weird shit on both sides. Women do a bunch of weird
I-
shit, but I can call out a lot of the weird shit with niggas. I'm a man, and from certain shit just don't fly with me. So
Yeah.
for me, like certain shit is corny, certain shit is one like corny, two abusive. It's just shit that I don't get down with.
Yes.
So I do get at this point in my life, 2024, at 38 years old, like, yeah, women be dealing with a lot of different shit with guys, so I can see how they come to certain situations on guard, just like niggas going to certain situations on guard. Like, is she only with me for my money? Is
Right.
she a person who might down the line try to trap me and get me like
I mean,
get pregnant and shit?
I'm
Like
saying,
it's
I
all
got-
the kinds of shit that you got to worry about on both sides.
Mhm.
So you can call it out from like a real woman's gonna call out shit that women do. Like a real
Yeah.
man should call out shit that men do. So
Yeah.
I do understand what it's like for not understand, but I can empathize with women having to deal with some
empathize,
bullshit
yes.
with guys.
Yeah.
Now going to the date thing,
Mhm.
Mhm.
as a man,
Mm.
I feel like once you establish what you want with the woman, what your
With
intentions
your
are,
intention, yeah.
then you move one way or another.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I've been a person who's had the one night stand or the fling or stuff like that, and you've been with a woman just for a specific reason, then yeah, you treat that woman accordingly. It's not to say treat her like shit, but at the end of the day, you don't deserve you don't get certain access to my money, you don't get certain access to my time. When we talk, when we link up, it's a specific reason, and outside of that, it is what it is. Like, you know, I don't hate you, I don't like none of that, but we're here for a specific reason. But if you are going to articulate, yeah, I want to get to know you, I want to get to a certain point with you as one. Well, potentially, maybe get to a certain point with you. Then you got to kind of be suave, smooth, and court them in a kind of way that's gonna make them feel like, you know, their time is worth like the effort or stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
So for me, like, and I'm a fly nigga, so I like to do dope shit, and then, you know, not to say like I'm putting on per se, but it's shit that I would do for myself. So why not treat the person that I'm entertaining in that way? Like, all right, this is what I like to do, so let's do some shit together.
Yeah.
You know? And this is the level that I usually like to eat at. This is where I
Well,
like
as
to
a
go. This is where I like to
person.
frequent.
Yeah.
So now this is what it's like to
It's itching.
potentially get into a space where we're getting to know each other. So you can expect this as probably the norm, you know?
Mhm.
Which is why I was joking when I said the love bomb watch it earlier, because we had conversations where it's like, oh, you know, like open conversations, which is what I think is dope about our
Yeah.
connection, is just
Yeah.
that we talk about a lot of different shit to where it's not like really just judging the person for what it is. It's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And a lot of the shit we connect on, like, okay, cool. And when it got to us like spending time together, she dictated early that, yeah, you know, if we're gonna go out, like I do like to be asked out, because that makes, you know, me feel like you're invested in that way. So I'm like, I bet, I
Yeah.
get that.
Mhm.
So then we move in that way accordingly. So
Yeah.
for me, if you're a guy that want to get to know a girl, and you got to kind of treat her up to a certain standard,
Yeah.
because outside of that, you got to expect her to lower her standards and then to get to connect with you. And that's that's a disconnect from the jump, and not necessarily quote unquote fair to her to have to say, yeah, let me come down off whatever pedestal to meet you where you at. So down the line, you can get there to where it's like, yo,
Wow.
you know,
Mm.
and it's going deep, but down the line, maybe you can get to a point where it's like, all right, babe, let's go eat at Bahama Breeze.
Right.
Yeah, after you
Yeah,
put the
get
work
to
in
that
early,
point.
you know?
Mm.
But early
Yes.
on, you got to kind of like set the standard. And that's just kind of how that should go. If you're actually really looking to get someone
Listening.
who is interested in you for you,
Yeah.
and not just a presentation, you got to kind of show out a little bit. It's like the animals do it. Like animals, peacocks,
the
bro.
peacocks. Yeah, put his feathers out
The
there.
feathers
so
out
she could
there.
be
It's
like,
just
"Oh, look at
nature.
you."
It's just like it's just how
feathers.
shit is,
Mhm.
and it always been like that
Yeah.
throughout history. But we just don't pay attention to that shit because we get caught up in like the
Everything.
all the
All
other
the
shit.
noise around it.
You know,
I hear you.
that's my perspective.
I love your perspective. I think it's a very good perspective.
But
What did you want to say while you were
What?
over there? Like,
It was a lot of-
I felt like you were
Holding it in over there.
There was aspects to it that I feel I have a varied view, right? A varied view, right? You said a lot, so I'm trying to like piece by piece kind of like walk through it, right?
Okay.
So you, especially when you talked about when you're dealing with someone, and specifically, there's a certain layer of what kind of intentions are going to be and how things are. In my experience, there's been on occasion women that would intentionally attempt to gain access to me without having the same intention that we've both said we agreed upon. So you're saying one thing and doing another, right? You have an insidious, nature. Yeah, we're just gonna like, it's just gonna be a fling, and then next thing you know, you're getting the text that after we done did it, or after we, she rolled over. What are we?
But intentions can't change. What if you
see,
blew her world? And she's like, "Oh, I wanna,
this is why
I wanna
I
lock
gave
this
her the
down."
floor, because I knew this was gonna be one of those things where it's like, if we're saying the intentions has changed, but yet you said you established the intent, right? It's a lot of times that the problem isn't the intentions change. It's that the intentions change for one person, not the other, and it's not communicated. There's a lack of there's a lack of communication in the expectations on what the thing that we're doing, the situationship, as some of the young folk call it, right? We in a situationship, it's going good, and then all of a sudden you mix in too many drinks, nights, Netflix and chills, and next thing you know, you're like, but how come why come? When is it going to be my turn to be special? Or like, wait, well, hold up, where are we going? Why are we here now? When we both knew going into this what it was. Now all of a sudden you're feeling more feelings than you initially let on, and now I'm the bad guy in the scenario because I somehow led you on. There's just a lot of layers of unpredictability when we're talking about something as simple as, establish intentions and go forth. No. Because everything starts to blend and blur like a watercolor painting. Like, it's just like, what is this? Is this blue or red?
Right.
What is it? So I just don't feel comfortable in saying, yes, once you establish intentions, you can go forth and be fruitful and have a great time, because it changes so quickly and so fast when you're dealing with people's emotions.
That's
true.
why you communicate, and it should be a check-in. Quite
if
often.
that was the case, we would
And
have
also-
98 shows.
but also-
No, this is true.
when you were in a situationship type of thing, and most times, yeah, sure, is it the woman that's like, "Oh my God, but what are we?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm low-key looking at this like, girl, come on now. Come on,
Yeah.
put yourself in check. Check yourself, girl. He told you what it was.
That's not your nigga.
And yeah, he told you what it was, and you let your feelings get involved in that. You need to constantly keep yourself in check if you're going to be in a situation. Because he told you what it was, and that's where a lot of these bitches, not all the bitches. But that's where a lot of
call them that.
look, when I talk to my friends, I be like,
You
bitch,
can call them-
okay,
You can say it.
That's
I ain't
just
say
Listen,
it.
But
you
that's
call
why a
them
lot
that.
of these girls have their downfall, because you're not listening to him. He done told you.
Exactly.
Right.
But you getting caught up thinking like,
Clear.
oh, well, yeah, like,
Crystal clear.
believe a man when he tell you something.
But then you get the
okay?
baby trap situations. You get there's a lot of other sides to
That's
the
when
stories.
you get into the insidious.
There's a lot of
women,
other
okay?
stories to the
That's-
side. Just like you had to do doing this and this and the third, but there's a lot of other, like, both sides. There's a disingenuous nature to both sides of the
course.
dating world,
Yes.
right? There's people doing wrong stuff.
Yeah.
So when you find somebody, hold on tight, because
Right.
it's
Well, and that's
like-
the thing. When you find somebody, put your best self out there, and you
Yes.
feel like that you have a connection with this person enough to take them on a date.
Yeah.
Like, you want to show up.
That would have been my
Genuinely.
pushback to
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you were saying,
Genuinely.
and not to say like you wrong in your perspective, but like just
it's different ones.
not like challenging you to also understand that kind of when you like it's simple put. Like when you step on the porch, you got to expect certain shit. So when you step off the porch, you got to expect certain shit. Like once you get into like dealing with women and all that shit, then you got to understand that they're, and it sounds like corny to say this, but you going into it with a certain level of vulnerability, knowing that, like you could be the type of chick that might do this, but you might not. But you only get to that point by trying to break down certain walls through getting to know that person. Like for me, I'm gonna size you up very quickly. Like I'm gonna size you up before I even ask you out. Like how you move before. Like if you're a chick in the club and I'm seeing how you move in a way that turned me off, I don't care if you bad or not. Like I'm probably not gonna end up trying to, holler at you, some shit like that. Which is why for me it is important to just realize that when you go into that realm of dating and all that shit, like you're probably gonna end up with like some kind of situation that are negative more so than not. Just because you're trying to get to know whoever at that point. Like, I've been at points in my life where I've just been free and open and I'm just playing the field and all that shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got to entertain something. Like, so in order to get to any point with anybody where it's the sneaky link, whether it's the situationship, where like you got to take those first few steps just to say, all right, fuck it. Let's see what happened here. And no matter what I do, I know I feel like I'm solid enough of myself to know that my intentions, whether they be like, oh, this is just going to be a situationship, or I'm actually trying to get to know you, like I'm going to put it out there early enough so that you can make the call for yourself as the other person, So once I'm moving like that, then I'm going to have the chance to weed out very, very early through the person's actions, the way they communicate, the way they just are as a person, as a being, that this probably ain't going to work, because I'm very like, I guess I don't say a lot about certain things, but I'm always watching to see how you're moving, until I really get to know you, then it's like, all right, I just know who this person is at this point.
Right.
Yep.
But early on, I'm watching everything you're doing.
Hell,
And
I'm
are
watching
vulnerable, and that's why I think I'm not saying men aren't equally as vulnerable as women, but I do think women, in my personal opinion, I feel like I have to say that that I feel like women are very vulnerable, more vulnerable than men. I will say, And so when you are potentially going to open up to someone or your heart to someone, you have to like make sure that that's the right one that you're going to start dating and courting and all of that. And I feel like women are very special, magical, powerful human beings, and I do feel like we are one of a kind. And I
agree with my woman and all those things.
I mean, I feel like women as a being are like pretty amazing people, and like there are some bad ones out there, but I mean, like we're pretty special, and I feel like that we should think of ourselves that way when we are making a choice to bring a man into our life that we don't necessarily need.
Okay, that last piece, was a little bit. Don't necessarily need. I'm like,
okay, we don't get a clap.
We don't get a clap for that.
That's a spice.
That was good. She was preaching.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but only because that last part, you was like, you don't necessarily need that man, huh?
Because we don't.
Okay,
all right.
I feel like
that's a whole nother topic of a conversation.
I feel like every woman is powerful and independent enough to live life on their own. Like they don't need.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. I don't got. We don't have enough time on this podcast.
We don't.
Ooh, I gotta touch that.
You gonna touch it? You gonna touch it?
But I feel like we are so special and we offer a lot that
I agree with that.
If somebody else wants to enter into our space, they should.
I'm not gonna go into whether or not you need or don't need men, but I will say
a lot of women need a man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry.
You touched it.
I said I had to touch it.
Hey, EFS podcast listeners, what do you think? Do you think women need men or not? Comment down below.
I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying.
Women comment only is crazy. It's a 90% male podcast.
All right, what's your top 3 episodes?
Oh.
Yeah, she got us.
Whatever.
She got us.
She got us.
Hey, yo.
She got us.
Hold up.
It's actually time.
Where's the statistics?
I'm not saying women don't add value. Women add a lot of value. That's not saying that.
The women that think they need a man are the ones I always tell, no, you don't. Like, they may think they need a man, but they really don't.
What I will say.
But if you think you still, if you can't break out of that mindset, then you still technically need a man.
I guess.
When you go on that date, right?
Yes.
I'm going to just introduce you to a buddy of mine called Walito.
Okay.
Go ahead, ask him some questions. See what he says. Go ahead, listen to him. Let him talk to you. Let him
Where
be
is this
support.
going?
I'm trying to get you to understand that, but beyond the how much the bodega food is, the drinks and all that, you still need someone that's charismatic, that's supportive, that's a good ear, that has the ability to articulate himself, to be a provider, to be a protector, to be a man. You can't underline the idea of what this whole dating thing we're going on.
If I'm going to choose a man, I do expect all those things.
But I'm saying but you can't get that from that. You got to get that from the individual. The characteristics, like showing up doesn't mean you got to take you out on the nicest date at the nicest restaurant. Showing up means being attentive, being supportive, listening, to be engaged during the date, right? Yeah. To put effort in planning, right? You can do 95% cheaper things and still have a wonderful time with somebody if they genuinely care about you, your well-being, your safety. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you ain't gonna get to that point unless you do the other things.
That's like second date.
But that's the problem I'm trying to highlight. You're saying, oh, you gotta do that after you do that. You don't have to. I didn't. And I got a wife, and I'm blessed and happy.
It is
you know what I'm
nature.
It
is nature. No. I just saw some shit, and sorry to cut you off, but I just saw some shit about
that's what I'm trying.
A fish.
Yeah, I was about to say,
there's a fish, and I forget the name of the fish. I saw like I was scrolling past it on Instagram. It's like an account that does like science and like just nature and shit like that. There's a fish deep down in the ocean that the way they mate is to create a sand like. Not sculpture, but like a artistic sand pattern to attract the female fish to come to there, and then that's what they mate. Like the male fish, and the shit take days. Like they said, it's not a quick thing. They really working on and it's literally symmetrical. It's like one of the most amazing things I've seen in the fucking like past month. The fish is literally playing with the sand with his little flippers and shit to make a pattern. Real talk. And then the woman fish, like as she's coming along, she notices the shit, swims down there to the fucking thing, and then he's down there to mate with her. Like it is just the nature of a man.
But you do understand. You do understand that we're not animals, though, right?
We are animals.
I mean, we are.
We're different. That's why we're at the top of the food chain, at the bottom of the ocean.
But we still animals.
Right, but we have this innate
we're still mammals. We're still
Yeah.
mammals, but we're not animals because we have the introspection that we can make decisions and we can be creative and we can do things that animals
there's still shit that doesn't go.
They eat their young. We don't do that. Like,
but there's still human nature, though.
They die.
There's elements of human nature. There's elements of human nature, but we make a conscious choice, right? To choose to use the barrier of entry as money and all those things.
But that's just it for us, though, as humans. Like the barrier of entry for the fish is the sand. The barrier of entry for the peacock is the feathers. So it's like it still exists in different forms, but us as humans just look at the first date. This is that, whatever. It's still like the parading of like, hey. I'm trying to court you, and this is how I want you to notice that.
It's not necessarily a human nature thing.
But that's
society. That's nurture versus nature conversation.
But how is it society when it's still the same principle?
Because in other cultures and other communities, they don't do that. They don't have to do that. They don't have the same economical means to do the same things that we're talking about here. You don't have to go on a fancy date.
I've been a lot of places all over the world, and there's a lot of tricking. It's a lot. It's going on.
Third world, first world. What are we talking about?
I mean, third world is different. That's a different level. That's a different lifestyle. But
in that,
you wouldn't want to live in a third world country.
But we're not dehumanizing the people that are in third world countries.
No, but they're doing something to court their people.
Exactly, but they're not doing it on the basis of an economical date, whether or not it's a high-end restaurant or a low-end restaurant.
They could be doing it off looks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's different.
But I feel like the concept
is still the determination of what that is. That's what I'm trying to say is, like, ponder me this. What if on a whim we just said, let's have a deep conversation and determine if we are compatible, if we really have the vibes.
I'm okay with
that.
And
we go into the dates 50-50. So there's equal effort being put forward. Like women got jobs just like men got jobs. And if anything, women got higher jobs than most men got jobs nowadays. What I'm saying is,
nowadays.
So what I'm saying is,
I think it's just a way to read somebody's character. Like in that first moment of, if you're giving somebody one opportunity and that's all going to be that first date, like it just shows something about who they are and what effort they're going to make moving forward and what their character is like.
That's interesting.
Because a lot of the thing, and not to speak for women, but I kind of have felt this vibe from women. Yeah. Women want to know the extent that you will go for them, even if you don't have to do it all the time. So if you come out too low out the gate,
it's a possibility.
if you come out too low at the gate, like, oh, I want to go, and no knock to the brands or the restaurants or whatever. Oh, let's go to Bahama the Breeze, the first one. Like, and I'm gonna just be honest. When we went on our first shit, she said she accepted the restaurant that we went to.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Just because she don't normally like fuck with that shit, you know.
Yeah.
So from there, I didn't realize that at that point. I was just going to a nice place that I like to eat, and you know, I don't even fuck with that anymore. But at this point now, that's neither here nor
grew up
there.
across the street from that place, like,
Right?
you know
So
what I mean? So I'm like Sakura on Kirkwood Highway. Yeah,
I like Sakura.
I mean, I ain't want
$25.
No, we not
buffet?
doing that. We're not doing that.
There's no buffet.
No, fuck Sakura.
That's
we
all
not
you
doing
can eat.
Oh,
Is
you
that what
can
you
eat.
mean?
We're not
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that. We ain't
whatever
gonna
it
give
is.
them that much more light on it because I don't
sorry?
bang with them.
Bad
you know?
experience.
Did it do something wrong?
Bad
Yeah.
customers come.
Nah, they ain't treat me
What?
too good one time, and
Really?
they'll never get my money.
Oh,
again.
I'm sorry.
They'll
I like
never,
them.
they'll
I
never
won't
get
go
my
there no
money
more
again.
either.
Yeah, but either way, the original point was sometimes if you come out too low, like you know,
It's
or
okay.
too
It's fine.
underneath the like, all right, let's go to somewhere fly, let's have a nice experience, whatever. Then they're never really gonna get that sense of if you are willing to do that or if you will go there at some point with them, just because it may not be a situation where you get that far enough to where you can show them that. If that makes
And
sense.
every girl's different, so it's
Nah,
like,
that's facts too.
You know what I mean?
That's facts
Yes.
too. Some
What I
girls
think- what
cool
I-
with that.
different.
what I want in my significant other is not
Right.
going to be the same thing that somebody else wants.
Right.
That's fair.
And that's okay. And
Right.
there's somebody for everybody.
Exactly.
I'll
And
just say,
it's-
how's the
Exactly.
Popeyes? Was it good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I'm just saying it. The
I'm just
Popeyes was
upset.
good.